Hello.
How's everybody doing? Um, I just want to take a little bit of time to explain the significance of the Y chromosome, considering there's a YouTube, what do you call it, YouTuber named Crispr that said the Y chromosome is insignificant, or in his words, statistically insignificant. So let's see how insignificant the Y chromosome is. I've taken the test, so I know how significant or not it is. And I was truthfully, honestly shocked at how accurate the Y chromosome is. Um, because when you take the test, you then compare your results with someone else. Hello, Honesty Angel. God bless you. So you have a certain series of numbers that correspond to the number of mutations that you have in your Y chromosome. I mean, the number of copies of information is they call it mutations, but they're the numbers of copies of the same information in the Y chromosome. So it'll vary, like 13, 17, 24, 18, all these numbers like this. But it forms a code because you inherit them from your father, and it can go either way. It can go up or down, of course. But when they when they assign you to a group, they assign you tentatively, and then there's another test you can do to confirm your your position, your place in the family tree. But it's shocking when you first get the results and you find that there's other people, cousins of yours, they're paternal Y chromosome cousins, going back 300 years, you know, 4 or 5 generations or whatever it is. So when I got my results, I fit into uh, a category of other people who had similar results from me. So I'm looking at and comparing the results between myself. At the time, I had a 67 place test, and there was all the numbers were exactly the same, with the exception of two of the positions at which were one number off. So I'm reading through these numbers, and here is this other person that has the exact same numbers as what I have, with an exception of two or three places. Shalom, Mitchell. How are you doing? And then when you compare it to other people, you compare it to other people around you, other people with the same surname, and you see how different they are from your particular paternal line, with the same name, of course. But they're off in another set. Like there's sets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or whatever. Say you're in group 7 or whatever, and the other people are in group 5 or something. And you compare their results with yours, and they're completely different. It's like you don't even know how they could even be the same, the same family. But then you look at other people farther away with other different Y chromosomes, and you see they're even more completely different. The code, it makes a code as to exactly which paternal line you belong to. And in my case, I belong to an immigrant that came over here 300 years ago. That was in the 1700s, or even before 1776. In other words, they were here from before this country began. So it's really very, very significant and very accurate. And this guy CRISPR comes along and tells me I don't understand it, and then I don't understand how statistically insignificant the Y chromosome test is. It's, I mean, he just totally um, discredited his own whatever education that he has or whatever it is that he thinks he has. To me, he doesn't understand anything. He just totally discredited himself by saying that the Y chromosome test is insignificant because it's exact. It's very exact. And if you keep following the Y chromosome all the way back, again, by the way, you're already placed into the tree of your original ancestor, which turns out that I have determined and discovered that each Y chromosome is from a grandson of Noah. Sometimes the grandsons will have more than one Y chromosome um, uh, designation, but they're connected. They're still connected on the family tree. In other words, the J the J that is not far from the I that I belong to. We're still the same family tree. In fact, we connect together before the original ancestor. So that means we have the same grandson. Uh, as or I have the same grandson as the Jews have, and the Arabics have, and the Eberites have. Whatever Eberus or Eberites there are remaining, they have the same ancestors what I have. So um, you're already placed by the code of your family. You're already placed into the tree, a branch on the tree of your original Y chromosome paternal ancestor. And there's no getting out of it. You can't jump from one tree to another. You can't, you're not going to be later determined to belong to another tree because your code identifies you with this family that came from this branch of this tree. And CRISPR has no clue of what he's talking about. He's just speaking gibberish that he made up himself. So, anyways, I just wanted to reaffirm that the Y chromosome test is very significant, and if he never took the test, of course, he wouldn't even understand. I took the test, and that's why I can understand how I fit into the branch of the tree of my original ancestor, because the when the mutations occur, it forms a code of that paternal line going all the way back to its origin. And every code, of course, is different. And you're not going to, no one code is going to be the same. It's specific to who you are. You're not going to have two codes after 5,000 years. You're not going to have two codes that are the same. They're all going to be um, specific to who they are and where they came from. And they're not going to match. So these Y chromosomes have already been designated as A, B, C, D, and E, F, G, H, I, and J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, and T. And they all match up to 15 grandsons of Noah, if I remember the number correctly. So it's 5 sons of Shem, 4 sons of Ham, and 7 sons of Japheth. So you can do the math and see if that's 15. Anyway, um, see, 5, 15, is that 18? Yeah, 5 sons of Shem, 4 sons of Ham, which is 9, and that's 16. 7 sons of Japheth. So it's 16, I guess. But anyways, each one of the sons of or grandsons of Noah have a matching Y chromosome that matches their history and the areas where they came from, the areas where they were, the areas where they marauded or attacked or whatever. They're in those areas. In the areas where they fled to, they're in those areas. Or the areas where they spread out to, they're there. Even if they went through the Mediterranean Sea all the way to America, the TY chromosome of the Javan people is all the way spread between the Mediterranean all the way to the Americas, with a strong representation in America, the same as the RY chromosome, which is the European, has a strong representation in America too, because they were a part of the expeditions or the explorers or the miners or whatever they were that went in the days of King Solomon from the Mediterranean to Americas, and they found the copper mines there in America that are ancient copper mines dated to the time of King Solomon. Plus, they left their Y chromosome in America. The TY chromosome, the RY chromosome, the G Assyrian Y chromosome, the E African Y chromosome, the B African Y chromosome, the J1 Y chromosome, the J2 Y chromosome, the I2 Y chromosome, the I1 Y chromosome, which happens to be my Y chromosome, the I1. They're all in America from the time when they were trading between the Mediterranean and America. They're all there in the Native American populations, which is amazing. Then there's the Olmec statues in Mexico, Central America, that are some of the best replications or reproductions of actual faces of actual rulers that exist anywhere in the world, with the even including scars and disfigured faces. They they are part of the sculpture, so they're recognizable people. You can some of the faces, you look at them and you can recognize people today who are similar, or you can actually see that they're an actual real person just by looking at the sculptor's faces. I mean, the sculpture, the face of the sculpture. But anyways, and they have clearly, obviously, Asian and African features. And they were discussing for years. They've been, going back and forth, saying, well, was there trade between Africa and Central America? Was there trade between China and Central America? And they're going back and forth arguing about this. And they say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory and all this. Except for the fact that the CY chromosome is there to this day in Central America, and the QY chromosome is there to this day in Central America, all over America, in fact. So the QY chromosome is Asian, and the CY chromosome is the descendants of Nimrod, who is the son of Cush, who is the father of the African sub-Saharan Africans, who never went to Africa. Nimrod never went to Africa, nor his descendants. They went east instead of to Africa. It's the same thing with the DY chromosome. probably one of his brothers. They went and became the Andamanese people, who are dark-skinned, sub-Saharan African type people to this day. And of course, we've known for the longest time that a lot of Pacific Islanders, a lot of Asians do have African features anyway. We've known that for the longest time. And the Andamanese DY chromosome went up into Tibet, or they are the Tibetans. Half of the Tibetan people are directed paternal descendants of Kush, the sub-Saharan African father. And their DY chromosome goes up into Mongolia, goes up to China. It goes all the way to Japan, and 1/3 of the Japanese population, they're direct paternal descendants of Nimrod and Kush, the father of the sub-Saharan African people. So the Japanese with the CY chromosome, they have the beards and the curly or wavy hair to this day. And, so it's clear the influence. Obviously, you can't argue with the Y chromosome. And Crispr wants to deny the science of DNA. He's actually denying the science of DNA. Bond wants to shout out to Crispr. Tell him to come over here and talk with us. um, so yeah, Crispr made himself insignificant by saying that the Y chromosome test is statistically insignificant. So he made himself insignificant with his anti-science claim, contrary to the science of DNA, known scientific evidence. So there's that. It's not my fault that he made himself irrelevant, but he did, because he has an agenda, a clear agenda to deny the facts, deny the truth, deny the science of known human history that we've known for ages, that they claimed was not the case. It turns out it is the case, and DNA proves it. So there's that. And if Crispr doesn't want to talk about it, I'm going to call out the entire skeptic, biological, whatever community there is. See if they'll see what they have to say about it. Because the facts are facts. You can't change facts. They're stubborn things. They don't change. The same thing with the Y chromosome. It is what it is, and you can't be anything else than what you are. And it proves known human history that we've known for ages, and it proves the reliability of the Bible, which agrees with the ancient records anyways, because the Bible is history of a people in the middle of ancient civilizations all around. This is our actual history. You have the marauding Assyrians, you have the marauding Syrians, marauding Medes and Persians. You have all these people coming through and wrecking havoc, destroying everything, and they left their Y chromosome wherever they went. And it's there to this day, and it's very clear. So there's nothing we can do about what the facts are. They are what they are, and if you want to go against what the facts are, then you make yourself insignificant, like Crispr just did. It's unreal. I couldn't believe he said that. I could not believe he said it, because I took the Y chromosome. I know how significant it is that you're placed into a line that belongs to you and no one else except your closest relatives. And together you are identified as having to come from one of the Y chromosomes of the 16 grandsons of Noah. So, anyways, that's about it. God bless everybody. Take care. Have a great rest of the weekend and great week ahead as well. And thanks for your participation as well. God bless.